Greetings, Masters. I am Metatron, Lord of Light, and I greet you in a vector of unconditional love. And so we speak again of matter, antimatter, and the synergetic flux between the two that define your realities. There is a constant shift between matter and antimatter that flashes consciousness units into both realms via macro and micro white holes and black holes. This is the underpinning of now reality that converges into all-time holograms. It permeates all matter and antimatter, and you live in both. Matter and antimatter form different types of parallel universes. Some are separate dimensional planes governed by succinctly different sets of physics, geometrics, and physical laws. Others duplicate your universe quite closely. Some parallel universes exist in subspace within parameters of formless geometry and are completely different quantum realities. Some universes are smaller than a molecule, such as the paradox of spatial enigma. Physical universes such as yours are the exception, not the rule. Indeed, there are highly evolved beings in the cosmos that are quite unaware that realms of physical universes even exist. Indeed, there are distant components of your own beingness, quite unaware of your physical self. The visible physical matter that is understood within your current limited level of technology actually makes up less than 4% of the multiverse. Approximately 20% of your universe is composed of what is called dark or invisible matter. The remaining 76-80% is antimatter, that you refer to as the crystalline light body, or Americana, interfaces within and without all three. Indeed, you journey within dark matter and antimatter every night in what you term the lucid dream state, in an etheric state of ultraviolet, within etheric bioplasmic energy bodies. Most of you have little recall of what occurs in these nightly sojourns. However, this information is accessible for those of you prepared to achieve the Merkanic level of consciousness in the tri-level Merkavik system of crystalline light bodies. The polarity Merkaba is obsolete. But let us be clear. Concerted effort is required to develop cognizance into this crystalline light body system. The old polarity Merkaba will not serve in this capacity. You see, the electromagnetic polarity grid is collapsing as the crystalline grid comes into full energy. In kind, the human aura tied to the electromagnetic grid cannot and will not hold the higher frequencies of the unified field of quantum crystalline energy. The crystalline age is upon you, and duality systems are quite obsolete within this upshift. As such, both your physical bodies and your auric systems are demanding great and greater focus as the Earth approaches this superdimensional graduation. Indeed, the increasing frequencies of the planet are requiring mankind's transition to the tri-level Merkavik modality of crystalline multidimensional light body auric function. Much of humanity has yet to recognize that the old auric system is unable to carry the increasing crystallite energy of the planet. As a result, a form of pressure differential is occurring that results in auric stress overload. Fissuring occurs and auric bleeding and short circuitry can develop. We have referred to these actualities as ascension maladies. Unrecognized, this can lead to energy loss, chronic fatigue, and depression. This we have shared with you in several essays. Yet the mass of humanity have not taken remedial action, and will consequentially remain tied to 3D functionality. Indeed, 21 December 2012 will appear as just another day for the vast majority of mankind, but the inspired minority that choose to develop crystalline light bodies, quantum leaps in consciousness are in store and indeed ongoing. Crystallization upshift of RNA. Many of you on the path of ascension are aware of the crystallization and 12-strand shift of DNA. We tell you that RNA is now upshifting in kind. RNA is equally important and is in fact the messenger that relays code changes to DNA. Now, the primary function of RNA is protein synthesis within a cell. However, RNA is involved in various ways in the processes of expression and repression of hereditary information. This is well understood by your biological and medical academics. But we tell you, RNA is not only the catalyst of human biological shift, it is also the receiver of information from higher realms. It is the signal code radio receiving apparatus of your new biology that allows for the crystallization into 12-strand DNA, crystallization of the pituitary, pineal and thymus to come into place. RNA is shifting from singular strand to a crystalline weave of 6 strands. Upshift to 6-strand cryptoRNA. Whilst your physical matter bodies are now moving into 12-strand DNA and 6-strand RNA, your Americanic crystallite bodies are shifting to 144 and 72 respectively in an algorithm system of crystallization into multidimensional bioplasma consciousness in both matter and antimatter composites. The multidimensionality of quantum consciousness becomes both requisite and available to the seekers in humanity that shift into Americana. RNA receives multidimensional codes. The crystallization and upshift of RNA is tantamount in this process because it communicates in multiple time dimensions and receives information through its crystalline linear chain mechanism. That is how RNA molecules assemble the physical matter proteins in the ribosome in order to receive the codes of upshift. Indeed, the RNA receives communication that is constantly being fed to the back brain, the God mind, from what you would term as angelic, extraterrestrial and divine oversoul consciousness. Most of these are within antimatter, and all of these work in bioplasmic crystalline Americana systems. RNA receives concise information codes that act as catalytic evolumental enzymes for new prototypes for the upshifting of the carbon-based physical body. Those referred to as the crystal children or Maruvians are incarnating with these bioetheric shifts readily intact. Indeed, there are myriad changes in the DNA and RNA of the new humans. These transitions are available to those of you of the Pathfinders, who are indeed seekers on the avenue of enlightenment, but assembly is required. Antimatter and matter of fact, the fourth and first state. Your mainstream academics understand that the planet Earth is surrounded by a shell or ovoid, called the magnetosphere. They do not uniformly acknowledge that within it is invisible charged matter particulate called plasma. In fact, the dominant state of matter in the multiverse is plasmic, but because it does not produce a radiation that they can see or measure, the academics do not formally concede as yet that plasma is in fact matter. Some theorize its existence as dark matter, but in truth it is not truly dark. In time it will be understood that plasma is the fourth state of matter. From your present perspective, matter exists beyond the 3 phases of solid, liquid and gas. It exists as plasma, and we tell you that it is not truly the fourth state. From higher perspective, rather is it the first state in omniverse cosmology, and it exists in varying layers within its own concentric dimensionality, and it exists within dark matter as well as antimatter. Stay with us. Keep your focus, for this is a great truth we attempt to explain to you. Masters, while this may seem confusing, it will become more apparent to those of you expanding into the crystalline org-light bodies, the Americanic phase of the 3-level Merkava. That is the level where you connect to the angelic part of you, a part that has been filtered away from you in duality and science aside. All of this essay is about you returning to your higher state, so do not get lost in the syntax. Do not be overwhelmed by the science or terminology we use, for the higher part of you already knows the truths we share with you in this teaching. Indeed, your will to learn and achieve, and Americana is your ticket home. It is why you are here, so we will share with you both background and the mechanics of how to get there. Hybrids of matter/antimatter. Because your etheric body interfaces into antimatter, it can be said that humankind are in fact hybrids of matter/antimatter, conceptually evolved from within antimatter. But listen carefully, your core consciousness exists vitally within antimatter, but not as antimatter. There's a difference. Your core genesis is divine thought, and it co-creates and permeates every matrix. The conical apertures of the human chakric auric system are extending and expanding in function as you develop level 2 and level 3 Merkavik light bodies. The subtle energy that composes the Merkavik auric system has the properties of an electromagnetic current. Yet they are not electromagnetic in duality terms. They are liquid crystalline in nature but operate in current field flows similar to the polarity of the previous system. Merconic energy flows through conical vortex apparendi, and is fed into meridians, but takes on the properties of crystal-coherent particle streams. Similar to laser light, in Trinity-level Merkavik system function, it is the same energy that flows through phi crystals, in that it is coherent. Your vortexial chakras are multi-receptive and transmittive. This is optimal in the third level of the Merkava system, the Merkana, as we teach in the Metatronic keys. In the Merconic manifold are great and greater ties into group soul consciousness and systems of omni-earth and multiverse cosmos. Your etheric body is stealth biological plasma. Your etheric light body and also encased in an ovid, similar to the magnetosphere of your planet. Indeed, it is composed of stealth plasma. In fact, all of you in higher forms of your multidimensionality have bodies, not of carbon-based chemical clothes as on duality Earth, but rather in the crystal realm of complex bioplasma. And these bioplasmic versions of you exist in the realms your scientists ironically term dark matter. We say ironically because that you term dark matter is actually far lighter and exponentially greater in frequency than physically dense matter, and in terms of consciousness, it is anything but dark. Within it is the interfacing lens of the angelic realm. Dark matter in your vernacular is invisible matter. It is only dark in the sense that it cannot be identified by your current instrumentation. It is a stealth form of matter that remains undetectable over the entire electromagnetic spectrum, detectable by your scientists, from the long radio wavelength to the far shorter length oscillation of the gamma ray. Your Merconic field, dear ones, is crystalline bioplasma. On the earth plane all of you are composed of a carbon body that is aurically interfaced with an etheric body of bioplasma. When you transition to higher realms you will be fully conscious in that etheric energy, in a body of crystal-bioplasmic light. In fact, the greater part of you lives now in the liquid crystalline cosmos of what you term of as dark matter, invisible light matter and crystal-electric bioplasma. Remote viewing. In group consciousness levels of Merkana, what you think of as psychic telepathy and remote viewing occur automatically, not as the goal, but as a natural occurrence of that divine level of consciousness. Indeed, these occur through connectivity in the neural networks, plasmic filaments of the living cosmos or Gestalt energy you call God. Just as you have a network of neural filaments and nerve fibers in your human brain that communicate in currents, there are in kind similar networks that act as information conduits that exist in the successive multiverses of the living cosmos, which comparatively speaking may be viewed as the brain of God, the all that is. In that analogy, it may appropriately seem that you are living in a cosmos that is an omnipotent brain, and indeed these cosmic neural corridors are sending information to and through your RNA constantly. Neural networks in matter-antimatter layers. It is in fact through this operandi of filamentary current conduits that phenomena such as remote viewing and bilocation seem to occur. Neither bilocation nor remote viewing truly involve physically seeing or being, as much as it involves processing of information codes and patterns received through cosmic or earthen neural corridors through your RNA and the crystallized pituitary and pineal. We tell you that these codes of information are the neuronal networks in matter/antimatter and dark plasma in which the omni-earth is contained. What this means is that a system is in place, and structure that you can, with effort, purposely evolve into. The learning of the tri-level Merkavik system is imperative. because it is required for you to consciously ascend into the next level. But keep in mind, the greater you expand into Merkavik levels, the greater energy you carry, and with greater energy comes greater responsibility. You must be able to control your energy field frequencies, and modulate the power within through mental balance and self-discipline control. Through the development of the crystalline light body tri-level Merkavik system, you gain the ability to navigate within higher dimensionality and in so doing freely access greater consciousness. Coherent crystal light. The effect is the development and utilization of coherent crystal light energy. This is particularly useful to healers, and can be developed and fine-tuned by motivated master healers in level 2 and 3 of the Merkava and Merkana. Coherent crystal light energy can be projected out from the body of a master Merkanic healer through the hands by beaming their personal chi of coherent emanations of crystal energy into the patient's body. By developing this system, you will grow in myriad ways and reacquire abilities that you have only dreamed of. Literally, the phenomena you call channeling also occurs through this process. But to be clear, channeling in the vast majority of cases is an enhanced communication with the divine self within you, not with archangels or ascended masters, but with the self.